Hi, welcome. This is John Hine and this is Success Guaranteed. Hope you're having a great week so far and everything's going good for you. This is video blog 9 and we're calling it Don't Complain About It, Do Something. The other day I had to catch a cab. I needed to be somewhere that wasn't exactly straightforward, so rather than trying to go through the whole system, I thought I'd catch a cab and just cut the journey short. It was only going to take about 10 minutes. And the cab duly arrived and I jumped in and I said to him, "Hey, how you doing today? Hope business is doing good." And the cab driver looked at me and went, "Oh, mister, I hope you're going to bring me good luck today." I said, "I always bring good luck." And he then just sat back with a tirade against how hard it was to earn a living as a cab driver. And when I first listened to it, and I thought, yeah, this guy does have a point. It was surprisingly expensive to run a cab. And I commiserated with him to start with, and I said all the right coaching things in the right places. And he wasn't having any of it. He was absolutely determined to vent his spleen at me. You know, someone was prepared to listen. And he was telling me how awful it was and how bad it was. And you know, every now and again he'd say something really positive and it didn't make any difference at all. And you start to feel like, oh my God, this is really depressing. I really don't need this. I'm only in a cab for 10 minutes. And we gradually progressed through this big rant and this complaint, gradually getting more and more depressed no matter what I said to him. And he eventually said, "And there's Uber too. You know, the new this new app that you can actually call someone up who's not a cab, but it behaves a bit like a cab and you only pay a fraction of the price." And by the time I got to my station, I got out of the cab, and obviously I didn't give him a tip because it was way too depressing, and he drove off on his way. I was thinking, why? Why do we do that sort of thing? Why do we complain rather than actually doing something? Because you've only got one life. And if you're going to live it doing something you don't want to do, what's the point? What's the point in complaining to one of your customers? Because I can't change his life for him. Well, I can, but only through coaching. I can't actually take him out of his job and put him somewhere else. So, do you find yourself doing that? I know I used to. I remember I used to be an engineer and electronics engineer a long time ago, and it's a job I didn't want to do, but my family did, and it made my family happy. So for a long time I went along with it. And one day I was complaining bitterly, and my boss heard me, and he said, "Well, if you're that unhappy with the job, why don't you just quit? Go get yourself another job." And it was really embarrassing at the time because it was actually true. I was mouthing off rather than actually doing something. So it stung enough for me to actually go out and get myself a new job. And that's exactly what I did. 2 months later I handled it in my notice. And I think it came as a complete and utter surprise to my boss, who it was a sort of company where you never ever left. And so I handed my notice in, and it started a cascade of steps for me that led to me becoming a coach and running several of my own businesses and generally having a more successful life. So sometimes you have to just make your mind up and change your life and do what you need to do. Stop saying I can't. Stop saying should and must and the world should be like this and the government should do that. It ain't gonna happen. You just have to get off your butt and do something about it, and your life will change, because we all have amazing talents at our disposal. So do you find yourself making excuses? Not getting off your butt and doing what you need to. Why don't you go for it? You've got the skills, you've got the talent, you've got the know-how, and if you haven't already got them, go and acquire them. Even if it takes you 2 or 3 years before you can get out, at least you can go and get that job you want to do, be what you want to be. So much more liberating. You have a great week, guys. You take it easy. Don't make any more excuses. John signing out. Have a good one, guys.